Hey, what's up, guys? Jason Jones, owner of Studio Jones Design here, and today I'm going to be taking you through how to do a text wrap in InDesign. And I'm going to show you a few different ways. The first way I'm going to show you is how to wrap around an image that has transparency like this. So we'll have text wrapping around this image. I'll also show you how to wrap around a shape or a picture box like this. Okay, and then I'll also show you how to wrap around an image that is inside of a that has a background already. So we can actually do that now in InDesign. So first thing we need to do is open the text wrap panel. So if you go up to the window menu, that's where all the panels hang out. And text wrap is no different. Here it is. Here's the text wrap panel. So if we go ahead and select that, I believe mine is, I like to have mine over here in the dock. And so that brings up your text wrap panel. Now you'll notice this first option here is no text wrap, so that's just nothing. The second one is to wrap around a bounding box. The third one is to wrap around an object shape. And I like these little pictures here. They actually do a pretty good job of this because this one is to jump over an object. So if you have an object here, it will like jump the text around it. And then this last one, I don't use this one as much. This is jump to like the next column. So if you have like an image or box here or something, it will push the text to the next column if you have multiple columns in your document. So open up your text wrap panel and let's go through it. So actually, let's start with the rectangular box. This is the easiest. So we just need to select the box, not the text. You can select the box. So you need to select the object that you're going to wrap things around. Make sure that's the thing that's selected. All right. And it actually doesn't matter if it's in front of the text or behind it. It doesn't really matter. But just make sure it's selected, which it is. And then I'm going to come over here. Let's go ahead and pull this out. All right. I'm going to come over here. Right now it's set to none, but here I'm going to wrap around the bounding box. So if I click on that, you can see here. Now I had some presets in here already. So that's why this is showing a number here, which is to wrap around the left side, which is what's happening over here. Now, if I wanted to wrap, if I wanted the wrap to be the same all the way around, I could just click on this little lock icon here or link icon, make settings all the same all the way around. Now, when I click on that, it defaulted back to 0. But if I go in here and just use my up and down arrows, if you look at the image while I'm clicking on my arrows here. See how it's going up and down? All right. So you can have this like padding all the way around, or you can disable that and just have it one way or the other. So for instance, if I didn't want it to interfere with the caption, which it is doing here, I could just turn off, I could disable this and just make this 0. But let me do a little sidebar here. If you have text or anything that you don't want to wrap around the object, but it's like maybe it's a caption or something or a photo credit and it needs to be near it, let me show you what you can do. You go ahead and select the object that you don't want interrupted by the text wrap, like this caption here. And then I'm going to go up to the object menu and I'll go to text frame options. Okay. And then when that window comes up, I'm going to go here to ignore text wrap. So if you ever have like some text that you don't want to be affected by the wrap, but you need the text to be near it, you just go ahead and select that text box and then go to text frame options and say ignore text wrap. Now, if I click the preview, I'm going to toggle it on and off. And if you look at it in the document there, you can see here that it's like, you don't phase me. I'm just going to ignore you, text wrap. So that's how you get around that. All right. Now back to where we were. All right. So that's wrapping around just a bounding box. So like I mentioned, we can bring in a transparent image, which I will do now. I'm a drag and drop kind of guy. So I'm just going to drag this image in here and I will place it right here. So let's say we want her sort of poking in off the page like that. Okay. Now she does have transparency in Photoshop. So there's no background here. And I'm going to come over here to the third option and I'm going to say wrap around the object shape. Now, when I click that, boom, it does that. Now, notice what it did though. This can be kind of a pain in the butt. So you might be saying, well, Jason, it didn't wrap around the image. I still see a white box and there's transparency in Photoshop. It's because sometimes you have to check this contour options. And if we just select that and say detect edges, then it's going to do just that. It's going to detect the edges of the image there. All right. And then I'm going to go in here and do the same thing. Let's add some padding around that. So I'm just going to use my up arrows here to kind of add a little bit of space between the text and the image. So that's all we need to do there. Again, it doesn't matter if the image is in front of the text or behind it when you enable that wrap around the object shape there. Okay, so that's way number two. Now let's go to the last way that you can wrap text around an image. Now this has a full background and everything, but if I select the image, okay, and then I come back to wrap around the object shape, let's say I click on that, boom. Now look what happened. It pushed the text all the way off the page, or it's not off the page, it's there. You know, if I were to move it here, you can see, but it's being obviously affected by the wrap, okay? But I want the text to wrap around her. So in this case, with the picture selected and with this option here, wrap around object shape enabled, then I'm going to come down here. We're going to check the contour options, right? And instead of detect edges, I'm actually going to do select subject. So this is going to try to select the subject that it sees in that image, whether it has a background or not. It's going to try to isolate it. So let's see if it works. I'm going to say select subject. And yes, it did. All right, so you can see here it is has selected the subject. It's added the wrap around the subject in this image, even though it has a full background and everything. It works pretty well. I've tried this a few times, even with busier backgrounds than this, and it seems to find the edges pretty good. And again, you could go in here and you can adjust the amount of padding that you want around that particular wrap. All right, that is it. That is how you do text wrap in InDesign.